Victor 318 field is at your 3 o'clock, 5.
Vector 318 has the field.
Victor 318 cleared visual approach, runway 17 right.
Cleared visual approach, runway 17 right. Exact at 318.
Delta 948, expected wheels uptime of 0157 Zulu. November 620 Juliet, expect a visual approach, runway 28 right. 28 right, visual approach, 200. November 620 Juliet, flight present heading descend, maintain 7,000 vectors for the visual.
Descend and maintain 7,000 vectors to visual. 20 Juliet.
South 2434, South 25,
Southwest 2434, Norcal approach, thanks for Sierra, the second build for 29906. At Clyde, clears runway 30 left approach.
And then 6 at Clyde, 1380 left approach.
Jet 318, wind 220 at 6, runway 17 right, clear to land.
Runway 17 right, clear to land. Exact jet 318.
Number 620 Juliet, descend, maintain 6,000.
Down to 6,000 to 0 Juliet.
Continue.
Sector 318, welcome to cover the exit left when able and taxi Alpha to the ramp.
Left when able, Alpha to the ramp, exit jet 318.
American. Alright, my G's, what it do, TGIF, happy day prior to the 4th of July, capital G, capital O, capital D, thank you for waking me up, dear Lord. Big up to wifey and kids, of course, and big up to you guys as well out there, D-Champs in the house, man, checking in on the scene as usual. Guys, we got a busy one here. We're going to take this this Citation Sovereign, made by Chevy, just kidding. Down here from Sacramento, we're going to take the bad boy all the way down to San Diego and then get into our MH60 and do a little flying around there, maybe run a mission, man, because I'm still learning on the MH60 as far as the Microsoft features and the mission making, so that's what we're going to do, man. So without further ado, y'all, let us come right here and jump on board. First flight of the day, we will have an overlay there, so there we go. And we need to get outside and remove all of the items off of the aircraft. I wasn't able to do that while I was getting the stream going here, so let's remove these things. And I noticed with the update before, look at that thing just starts spinning. You would take the pitot covers off on one side, it would cover the other side, but not anymore. So let's get these taken off here, fam bamaronis, so that we get an accurate flight with accurate information. Okay, let's just complete the entire walk around here, so make sure I didn't miss anything. Leading edge of the wing looks good. Where it bends up there to spoil the air there, not quite a full apparatus there, if you will, for the spoiler there. Or winglet. Alright. Everything here is looking copacetic, fam bam Rudies. Let's climb on board. Alright. Let's make sure all is copacetic here. Alright. I'm just going to stop the music completely because we've got a lot of work to do and I'm trying to get her done here. Alright. Okay, so first and foremost, what we want to do is take a look at the sim brief options, and we want to view the latest flight plan, which will have us going down from Sacramento down to San Diego with LAX being an alternate. Let's go ahead and port those weights. You can see the aircraft moves, so the weights, the fuel, all that good stuff is in there. As you can see here, we're burning 1843 on the pounds, or 1,843. We need 4,093, so now we can come here to the performance of the aircraft, and you can already see those seats have been filled up, but more importantly, if we look at the fuel here, 4093, and if we go back to sim brief, we needed 4093. So the aircraft is in fact loaded up, my G's. So now we can let's go back and we'll pull the checklist up here. And well, okay, this, I guess the Sovereign didn't have a checklist. I don't know how they got out of that one, but yet they did. All right, so now that's loaded up. Let's go ahead and get the aircraft where we need it to be. Let me just go ahead and make sure these look good too, because I don't want to be forgetting any of this, since we'll be doing some switching up here. Retired is in the house, man. Good to see you, my fellow veteran. Thanks for checking in. Hope you are doing well, my G. I know it's been a minute, but we'll get her done. All right, first and foremost, we want to observe here. Let's see, I took the controls lock off already, so that's fine. Which is down here, even though I can't see it right now, because my track IR was playing the games with me, but the controls lock is right here, and it is no longer locked, so that's good. All right, so let's look down here and get our batteries on, and then we're going to get the APU on pretty quick here, so we'll go left battery and right battery. I don't think the external power, yeah, external power is not even offered here, and I don't know how to get it on this aircraft, so we're not going to too much worry about that.
TCAS 2 system test passed.
All right, now we are going to look up top, and let's get our passenger safety information on in the back and our seat belts, and then we're going to arm our lights, of course. Now, let's just turn this stuff up. We are flying real time, so it could, if we've gotten some cloud situations, things could get a little dark. So what we're going to do by way of everything is we're going to come right down here. But the flight plan, we're going to take a little bit of a cheat code. So let's go to weight and fuel. And we really want to just come to takeoff, and we want to sink the fuel on board, which is 493 pounds, or 4,093 pounds. And then we can come back and pretty much do that. Flight plan is going to be a little different. Let's get the APU on so that we don't run out of battery juice. You got to wait for the APU fire to test itself, and then you start it. All right.
TAWS system test. Okay.
You can see the APU RPMs are coming up. There's the exhaust gas temperatures in Celsius, of course. So as soon as APU power comes up, it'll connect automatically, because and you can see the bus is tied. We're at 100% RPM. So then we can also come here and get the bleeds on and get some cooling effects going here, folks. Parking brake is set. Now what we want to do is kind of come and cheat over here. We're going to use this FMC, We're going to go home on it, and then we're going to go to services. We're going to go to ACARS, and we're going to request our flight plan. And we'll get a selection here. We're ExecJet 318 from Sacramento to San Francisco, and you can see we flew up here from Palm Springs. Or correction, Sacramento to San Diego. So we'll request this flight plan, and we'll import the flight plan. So now we got the flight plan, and obviously we can see here. Now there are going to be some things that we need to check, like the weather. So for example, let's come here to the departure, and actually, let's see here. We should be able to get our weather. We'll request it elsewhere. Takeoff data, of course. It's got us for the runway 17. So let's load the MEDAR. And then we'll show it. So winds are 220 at 5 knots. So, you know, okay, runway 17. But now we need to come back here and we need to observe runway 17. So we're going to come here to our charts. And so 17 left looks to be what we should be departing on. So now we can come back over here and sneak into our flight plan. And this got us on runway 17 right. Let's go here for the procedure. And let's do 17 left. And same thing. And we'll load that. Boom. Now we got our departure on 17 left. Now getting into San Diego, it's pretty much runway 27, and we can double check that. Okay, shafter. Okay, that looks good. All right, now finally let's confirm our flight plan just one more time, just so we know where we're going. Let's see. Let's do the route. Okay, the route is the Foothill 3. And then we're going to the Friant VOR, then to Shafter, then Hulk. Shafter, then Hulk. So we're good to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to say done, so we don't have any flight discontinuities, and we're good to go. So takeoff configuration, that's what we're looking at. Now the takeoff data, we can come here, and it's already going to be configured in here, so we'll go all on, and that means it's already sent to our primary flight display. Let's come back over here now, and okay, so the altimeter here is 29er89er. Or 89er. Okay, you can see our speeds are in there. Let's also confirm that we've got information that will be coming from the FMS, which we in fact do. And let's look and see what the CTAF is up here. I'll have to change that view in flight. So in order to zoom this sucker in, you gotta, I believe it's this knob. All right, it's definitely that knob. And now let's see, let's just make this thing bigger here. So it looks like CTAF, ATIS, Tower. Boom. So I'm assuming it's going to give us a CTAF of 25.7 here for departing here. So let's double check that on the VATSIM network here. And then we'll get our transponder set up. Yep, 25.7 as we figured. So we can come here now and put 25.7 in. Just transfer that, and then for this one here, we're going to put that in. And then for COM 2, as we depart, because some people, they do communicate on that frequency because they're not using the CTAF. So, and then what we'll do, just because NorCal departure west and northeast, east and southwest. Well, we're departing south, and if we're going southwest, ooh, we don't know what it'll be here, so we'll wait. It should be 25, but obviously they're not going to have that many degrees of separation if there's only one controller for NorCal, so we'll get that figured out. All right. We are almost ready for departure. Let's look for our departure route. We're basically going to depart Charlie 2 here, Delta to 17 left, and then on our departure, which is the Foothill 3 RNAV departure. Let's maximize this here. Okay, so we're taking off 17 left. We're going to climb a heading of 168 degrees, or climb on a heading of 168 degrees to 540 feet, then left turn direct to Foothill. Okay, so essentially we're coming off to the south here. We'll bust the left turn and intercept essentially this course here direct to Foothill, and then we'll maintain on the transition at Foothill 19,000 feet or flight level 190, expecting filed altitude 10 minutes after departure. That will not affect us, but here's that Friant VOR that we discussed in our flight plan, and then we'll be off to the Friant VOR, which should be about 58.5 nautical miles on track 136. So let's just finish our takeoff data. Boom. Let's see, origin. Okay, we got the weather. We loaded that. Okay, runway 8,000 feet, more than enough for 17 left. Takeoff configuration, bada bing, bada boom. We're not going to do a rolling takeoff. Thrust reversals will be slowed. Anti-ass will be flaps 1. So we're going to say good on takeoff. Okay. Again, boom. Runway stored. So I guess we'll be skipping off that one. All right. Let's see here. Smoke detect, engine fire, overspeed. Let's get these tests going. We're doing our stall test right now. While we're doing our stall test, we're going to go ahead and start bugging up. We got a cruising altitude of 45,000 feet, which is flight level 450. All right, 450's in. Let's go ahead and do our engine fire test. That's in progress. We'll let that run.
Left engine fire.
Let's get our flight director on. And we're going to be going following FMS for our departure. We're confirming yaw damper is off. And we're going to climb initially out until we get a flight level change climb. About 2,400 feet per minute. Let's also come here and make sure our transponder currently is in the standby. Let's also put our correct transponder code in. Every single day. Hey, what's up, Greg? Good to see you, my G. Good to see you. 3327 into the box, guys, for our squawk code. And once we get ready to get going, we'll get our squawk all squared away. Let's also take a look at our, let's finish our system test. Let's see, smoke detect in progress.
Baggage fire.
While that's happening, we can come over here and okay, we'll get our traffic on here soon. Okay. Annunciator test, we'll pay attention to this one. You can see all the lights are on where they need to be. All the lights are on during the annunciator test. Okay, annunciator test is done. We got to pass. Let's do our overspeed. Then we'll have high frequency 1 and high frequency 2, and then we'll be done. High frequency 1. And let's go high frequency 2. All right, all tests are done and we have all good passes, so we're good to go there. All right. Okay, and this is part of it. That's probably why it's not giving me a takeoff, but that's all right. We're going to go anyway. Okay. Come back in there and bring this back over to the map here. Alright guys, we are ready to start the aircraft, most indubitably. Now one thing we need to do here guys is you guys have to go to, it's not services, but aircraft systems, and you'll need to go to the exterior lights. Now here's where we turn our navigation lights on. Let me see, I must have this. Okay, there's our nav lights are on, and okay, I think that's the yaw damper. Okay, yep. So okay, there's the beacon. So we got beacon on. Okay, we're doing good. Let me look up top and see if these other. Okay, those will be the lights that I need to work out. And we're going to go ahead and start the right engine. We can go ahead and go to TA. And traffic display, TA, boom, boom, boom. There we go. Alright, so we're going to be monitoring engines here, ensuring bleed air is on, and we're ready to start the right engine. So we're going to come here to run, and there we go, folks. You can see N2 still in the ignition mode here. I think we're in a passenger there. Let's see. Switch over to the other side. Yep, there's a passenger there. We got bases loaded in here. Back up we go. And James Johnson, ¿Cómo estás, papá? Mucho gusto verte de nuevo. Alright, so we've got the right generator is already connected automatically. Let's go ahead and start up the left side engine. Okay, before engine start, parking brake, we made the payment, static wicks removed, cabin doors closed, cabin curtain is open. There's the curtain there. Diver doors are latched open, crew seats are adjusted, seat belts are on, EIS and ECAS checked, fuel quantity. So we can check all those off. And the passenger briefing is complete. Okay, APU blade. This is starting engines. APU bleed. Air can come off. Maxical button off. Throttle's idle. Engine run. Downwind. Okay, we kept that on. We never had exterior. We never. Oh, snap. Our parking brake must have been. I don't know how our parking brake got off on us. How did we start rolling? Okay, that was weird. The parking brake was on. Alright, that was so weird. Oh, but at least we're not fully off, so there we go. I don't know what happened there. You guys saw the parking brake was on. This is the parking brake back here, and it in fact was on. Alright, TCAS says it's to standby, but we can literally just get that thing to let's get the TCAS to on. Still on standby. Okay, altitude reporting is what we'll do. Alright. Both engines are started. Okay. Let's go before taxi. Boom, boom, boom. V speeds, autopilot. I just want to see if they want me to have the APU running. Okay. Boom. Radar, anti-ice, stabilizer. That's before takeoff. Cleared for takeoff. Pitot stacks. Boom, boom, boom. On. Flight controls. After takeoff. Yaw damper. Flight modes. Climb. Pack safety. Transition. APU bleed air button off. After EGT stabilize. APU off. So the APU doesn't come off for a while. Bleed button off. Alright, so bleed air button is still on. We'll leave it that way as max cool. Let's go ahead and set our takeoff flaps. Okay, and let's trim down there. Okay, our stab trim is there, flaps there, we're good to go. And our Pitot TCAS is not on standby. Why is it saying, even on there it's on? So let's go here. I don't think it's going to be happy until it says auto. There we go. Park brake on. No standby data. Okay, we're okay with that message. And let's taxi out to the left here. Okay, sorry for whipping my head around here. Alright. Let's go off of here. Let's come back to the map now. And here we'll come back to charts. And we'll go to the airport. And Sacramento traffic, ExecJet 318 is at the general aviation parking just past Terminal Alpha. Will be taxiing for departure on the Foothill 3, Charlie 2 Delta, Delta 3 to runway 17 left. Sacramento. Alright. Let's go recognition and taxi. Boom. Alright. Oh, another thing we could change quick if we wanted to would be here. And we could just get rid of that. Alright, there we are. Welcome aboard, guys. All right. I'm still trying to figure out how we started rolling. All right, guys, we're getting ready to leave out of here, out of Sacramento. And we are rocking chase plane and FS realistic. All right. Let's merge onto our taxiway here. Taxiway's clear right.
see. Preferences, action. Let's see. We gotta look for the cinematic button. I forgot to. Okay, toggle cinematics. Okay, we got controller button 1. Okay, maybe I did. Okay, that must be the controller button 1 right there. All right. So we're good to go. Flying time, is an hour and 13 minutes. Sacramento traffic, ExactJet 318 on Delta 3 entering runway 17 left for departure on the Foothill 3. We'll be climbing unrestricted on the departure, flight level 450. Last call, Sacramento. Alright, folks. All lights on. Come here to timers and flight controls check. Left. Flight controls checks complete. Rudders have been checked. Don't forget, rotate is 113. Alright. Come to a stop. Start the clock. Come up 40% there. Alright, we got takeoff, go around, Toga. Airspeed's alive. 80 knots. For 113 and rotate. Positive rate. Gears coming up. A little bumpy there. Flaps up. Sacramento traffic, ExactJet 318 clear of runway 17 left. We're out on the Foothill 3, last call for Sacramento. She's a little bumpy. Alright folks, let's go flight level change now. Alright, and we're going to continue that turn. We're on flight level change at 250, so the aircraft's basically going to be controlling pitch there. A little bumpy. Just make sure that yaw damper is on. Those taxi lights off. And we're just flying to make the intercept here. 10,000, I'll go ahead and activate our autopilot. A little bumpy up here. Okay, we are 10,000. Let's let the aircraft catch up. Autopilot's engaged. And we're still on that flight level change there. I'll climb up at this air speed until we get the Mach numbers here. And of course, we need to turn those pitos on. One thing we forgot upon departure. And finally, let's go on to the weather radar. And radar on. And we'll go weather. So now we have our weather radar on, but we're not expecting much weather, so we can just assume we'll visually see weather if we're concerned about anything. You can see we're direct to Foothill here on the departure. And if we want to observe that departure, you can just come right over here. Bada bing, bada boom. And there we are on the Foothill 3 departure. Let's go up top, guys. All landing lights off. Turn that pulse off. Recognition, wing inspection, tail flood, and leave anti-collision. And actually, I think we need to leave that pulse on. Okay, we're standard pressure there. And we're climbing out nicely, folks. Maybe while we're here, we'll work on a couple other views here while we work our way down. Once we get into San Diego, we'll land, disembark, and head over to our Coast Guard mission there. We're going to be cruising at a comfortable flight level 450. Yeah, ATC looks to be minimal because it's, I believe they got an event going on the other side of the country. Yeah, ish. I mean, ATC's popping pretty much from
Chicago Center. It's like Cleveland Center's on. But they got that 4th of July joint going on over there in the DMV area. And in our neck of the woods, it's pretty empty, but you never know what you're going to get with Los Angeles, so we'll see. But if not, it'll be a nice smooth arrival, if you will. I'll have to eventually slow the speed of that down. Alright, so not doing too bad. Working our way up. And we did pass 18,000 feet. So now what we can do is we can get our APU bleed air off and we can get the APU off. Okay, there's where we start getting some, so that'll be what our altitude is based on as far as our vertical navigation and when we descend. We're going to leave it here as far as the D10 and the takeoff, but you can see the engines are still in the max climb. Let's go ahead and completely switch over here to Unicom. And we'll monitor both frequencies. Okay, so we officially have about 10,300 feet to go. Okay, so let's get this off for now. All right, catching up. You guys are doing good. James says that he did a lot of traveling today. Said the grocery store was busy because of the proximity to 4th of July. Appreciate you, Greg. Good to see you guys here, man. And once we get to the cruising altitude, right now I believe we're basically about an hour to go. Yeah, because flying time's an hour and 13 minutes, and we're already 13 minutes into the journey, as you can see here. All right, less than 5 to go, and then we'll be picking up some speed. Alright, and this, we can get rid of this for now. Pull up our traffic display. And we actually have a traffic display over here. We could essentially pull up the weather display here. Departure ATIS clearance. Yeah, we can't get weather in here. However, there's a little trick. We can go all the way down here and click this and then go get the waypoint information. And it will give us weather. But winds are out of the west, northwest 8 knots, no surprise there. 10 static miles of visibility, that's good. Temperature is 21 degrees Celsius, altimeter 300.
We got some broken clouds at flight level 250, but nothing too egregious. That cloud's broken, but not bad. We get into San Diego. And we're doing good. If we kind of want to keep up on some of the map information, we can add one more layer of information on there. There we go. And now you can see, you know, there's Fresno, there's Hanford, there's Visalia. So we're just over the Sierra Nevadas there to the left. $1,000 to go. Once we level out at flight level 450, we'll allow the aircraft to pick up a little bit of speed there. And then, of course, we can go observe when our top of descent is into San Diego. We'll be arriving into San Diego on the Comics 2. All right, almost there. And the altitude selected is flashing as our target altitude is 450. And we'll be stable on the altitude hold here. Okay, now we're back to manual speed. So we're picking up speed here. Let's make it a mission here not to go any faster than, let's say, Mach 7.8. So you can see our trend on our speed is indicating that we're still in a increase in speed. Of course, at our elevation, we are still indicated here at 185 indicated, which is currently now basically Mach 0.70, but we're traveling over the ground at 412 knots with a true airspeed of 401 knots at the current air density and elevation. Well, let's be greedy and put the whole map there. And now I'm going to pull back slightly before we get into a nice cruise here. Push it up a little more. Let's see what the minimums are there. You know what? It's in the flight plan. We'll go here, VNav. And top of descent is in 24 minutes. Let's see if we've got the localizer 2.7 in there. Monitor what we're doing here. Make sure we're not doing anything crazy, because sometimes this plane has a mind of its own, man. Alright, so flight plan. So boom. Man, sec. So now let's go back to charts. Tornado. Okay, and then it's a manual. So, if we're looking at the approach for the localizer, we can take it from Vita or Lindy. And let's look at what those minimums are. The minimums are, minimum descent altitude is 680. Yeah, we'll just keep it barrel. We'll enter that. And we'll just take that from Lindy. Let's load that. And then now we've got to continue. So 6,000 will be at the bottom of our and let's see here. We need to be 210. Lantern is 230. Okay, they got it in there. Bet. All right, so top of descent 20 minutes. I actually think we're doing really good here. $19 minutes. Let's go down slightly. Okay, we brought the power down. We're able to maintain the speeds here, so we'll take a look at that, guys. And for now, let's get ready to get some tunes on here for you guys. Hi, love. Good to see you, baby. Thank you for checking in, mama. For real, for real. All right, speed looks pretty consistent there. I didn't really set up any other views, but let's see what we got here. There we are. Nice little view, folks. Woo, she's smoking. Alright, folks, so your boy, here, let's see what we look like on this other side. I gotta smash me 2 hot dogs here. Your boy's hungry. Nada, quedarme en la casa, papa. Aquí todo tranquila. Alright, guys, I'll be right back with you. Let me jump off of here and get me some grub. I'll be right back, man. Appreciate you guys riding along with your boy.
All right, fam, Bamaronis, your boy is back. Okay, we've got 6 minutes. Don't forget, we are going to be going down to 6,000 for our final fix on the Comics 2. So we're just going to bug down there now. 6,000. And we should be able to activate this VNav. And so now, once the path comes up, it'll take us down right on the VNav path to this altitude here based off of our flight plan. And while we're at it, let's check the CTAF. On the approach there in San Diego. So 18.3 is going to be for San Diego. All right, 4 minutes. Take a look at our parking. So we're gonna come and hopefully make it here by Charlie 6. If not, we'll cross the runway and then come back here at the earliest at Bravo 6 and cross 27. Should not be too busy, and we're gonna come down here to the General Aviation Park right off a hotel. And you can see here indicated on our map is our top of descent. And monitoring here for our descent, I don't see any aircraft up there that would impede us on our descent, so we're good to go. Retired man, you got me laughing, dude. But his wife wanted to pull some weeds. He was like, "Nah, it's gonna be too hot." Yep, stay cool, retired. Them weeds aren't going anywhere, man. Tomorrow, someone do the job. Happy wife, they say. Smart man, smart man. You're figuring out a way to get it done here. A little bumpy here. Appreciate you sharing that. All right, let's go get that altimeter so we have an idea what it is. Altimeter is 299 or 8. Alright, music's off for now. Two 909 or 8 is it. Two 909 or 8. So we just got our warning that our VNav path magenta caret has become active. Descent, pressurization, verify, which we got it here. Pressurization looks good. And here comes our San Diego and surrounding traffic. ExecJet 318 is the Citation Sovereign, now vacating flight level 450, descending on the Comics 2, expecting transition runway 27 full stop, San Diego and surrounding traffic on Unicom. Okay, you guys can see I'm just pulling that power back. Let's get that going, and we're on the way into San Diego. Now, once we fly the helicopter, excuse me, we're probably going to manipulate the time of day. And we won't be doing an extreme amount of helicopter flying. Maybe we'll try this little mission that I came up with, which I don't even know if I put it, what time of day it is when I created the mission. So if not, they got some missions we're going to fly, and I'm still going to get more proficient with like using the hoist and things with the MH60, but I just wanted to introduce it on the channel as well, since we know how to fire it up and do that. And I've been flying the MH60 / the Blackhawk for years, DCS. Several different models there, the Blackhawk model, then the MH60 model, the variant, the naval variant. So far, nothing weather-wise looks of any concern. Square that heading up. Okay, just come off of there, and let's go back to charts. I want the approach because I need to see what the final runway course. I believe it's 275. Okay, 275. Let's see, we got 18 miles on this course. So let's go ahead and go to the heading mode really quick, and then we'll change this nav source
localizer 1, and we need to set heading of 275. Okay, for localizer 1, the course has been set for 275, and we have the barrel minimums at 680 feet. Let's come back down here and put it right back onto the FMS, and we can go back onto the FMS GPS mode. And didn't skip a beat there, folks. We are all set up for our arrival into San Diego. So as soon as we're going direct to Nida, we'll go direct to Lindy. And Lindy okay, Vida at 4. So Lindy at 5. Hold at waypoint. Okay, we can't manipulate it as if we can here, so we'll just make sure that we go direct to Lindy. And honestly, if I wanted to add a waypoint right after, I could literally go insert before and go Lindy. Enter that. And then now put that at 5,000. And now Lindy's at 5,000. And now that's entered. And then we still have the second Lindy. There, it's perfect. Fuel stores are looking good at 2,420 pounds. Once we get a little closer, where we're about to transition off of the standard terminal arrival, we'll go ahead and look at our landing speeds. We didn't because we told the passengers we wouldn't, but we left the curtains open. But if you did want to close the curtains, you could absolutely do that. But it needs to be open for landing, so we'll open it here shortly, if we remember. Alright, back in we go. Enough of the cinematics there. Pretty calm here. You could observe now that we're here on the arrival. There we go, better look. We're direct to GAMP, and then Legend will be between 19,000 and 15,000 feet. Comics 15,012. Lantern at 230 knots, at least at or above 9,000 feet. Then on to Cloman after X-Man's at 7,000. Cloman 210 is 6,000. NATO at 6, and then we'll be transitioning to Lindy, and we'll make right traffic, of course, transitioning on to the final for localizer 27, and we'll exit to the right and take off on Hotel as far as the landing is concerned. So the Citation Sovereign is definitely up there. I'm enjoying all of the citations that come out. I like the Citation 10 from Flight Effects as well. It's making flying private jets here in Microsoft just that much funner, man. Roger that, retire. Amen. Okay, about 2,000 feet to go until we get into our correct altimeter setting for 29er, 89er for our arrival into San Diego. We'll land, maybe do a replay, and then after that we'll do a little bit of the chopper ops. Fly around San Diego, see if I can get this. We'll fly around, we'll come back, land. I'll see if I can load up. Actually, when I get in there, I'll just try to load this other mission up, and we'll go from there. All right. 29er, 9er, 8, and I said 29er, 89er, but two 9er, 9er, 8. Let's make sure that's still the situation. Nope, that's not what we want. Yep, 29er, 9er, 8. 15,600 and descending. We'll make sure we bust 230 here at Lantern. As we prepare for our arrival. La temperatura aquí está buena. Más o menos diario llegamos a 93 por ahorita, pero siguiendo a julio y agosto vamos a cambiar este número a como 100, 104, 110, algo así en agosto, a ver. Pero ahora todo bien y no tenemos nada de agua en el aire como Florida, que tiene mucho humidity. Aquí no tenemos eso, papá. So, calor sí, pero los calores son un poco diferentes. Tired, making sure he stay in that AC. Okay. Okay, we do have San Diego Tower at 18.3, so we will have some ATC on the way in. And San Diego ground is 18.3. And the ATIS is 34.8. So let's at least listen to that.
Information Kilo 00510. Wind 310 at 7. Visibility 10. Ceiling 25,000 broken. Temperature 21. 2.16. Altimeter 2998. Landing runway 27 localizer. Visual. RNAV approaches in use. Departing runway 27. Activate transponder with mode C on all taxiways and runways. No offshore VFR transitions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Kilo.
Alright, Kilo's current.
Line for field ATIS information Kilo 0.
Okay. We're now crossing 10,000 feet. And we're trying to slow ourselves down to 210 knots essentially. You guys can see downtown San Diego and the airport here. There's downtown San Diego. There's the airport. Once we get in our helicopter, we're just going to be doing some light patrol around here and see what we can find. But let's get on the ground first. Hey, I appreciate you, retired. I appreciate you, my G. I need all the words I can get. Alright, fam bammers. We still got more on the stream to go. Once we land, we'll be doing some chopper ops. Again, not a whole lot of flying, but just enough to get in there and take off and do some stuff. And then we'll have another separate stream.
8787, welcome to San Diego, left when able, contact ground 123.9, we'll see you.
That helicopter, when I get to know it a little more.
123.9, goodbye. For notation.
Okay. Let's come out of half. Let's go approach. Let's go localizer. And let's go home and then back to flight plan and refresh where we're at. 7,000. go. You can kind of see we're in the downwind there. And let's see, Vita, we need at 4. And guys, I literally think that we got the localizer, but I'm pretty sure visual is available. Let's check it.
Switches in use. Departing runway 27. Activate transponder with mode C on all taxiways and runways. No offshore VFR transition. Advise on initial contact. You have information kilo.
Okay, we got kilo.
Line for field ATIS information. Kilo 0051 Zulu. Wind 310 at 7. Visibility 10.
2000
Feeling 25,000 broken. Temperature 21. 2.16. Altimeter 299.8. Landing runway 27 localizer. Visual. RNAV approaches in use.
So
Departing
visuals.
runway 27.
Visuals still in use
Activate
as well.
transponder with mode C on all taxiways and runways. No offshore VFR transition. Advise on initial contact. You have information kilo.
Okay, we're recording.
Line for field information kilo 0051 Zulu. Wind 310 at 7. Visibility 10. Feeling 25,000 broken. Temperature.
All right, as promised, landing all on. VREF is 110, so we're gonna go at about a 118-ish. Let's square up the heading. Okay, that's just letting us know our next descent point. And you can see those mountains right there. So that's why that's super important. All right. And now if we just keep it going down, the aircraft is going to fly it almost like it's a VNAV or a fly it like it is a RNAV. See the lowest, like 26. So let's go down there. We're just going to treat it like an RNAV. Don't forget, VREF is 110, so we're going to make our approach speed about 108. Nice and smooth. so we will be landing full flaps.
United 610, taxiing via Bravo to runway 27.
United 6767, Liberty Tower, hello, wind 310, wet 7, runway 27, clear for takeoff.
Runway 27 cleared for takeoff, and that hurt my ears over there, United 61067.
And Lindbergh Tower, ZJet 318 is on the visual 27.
Jet 318, Liberty Tower, hello, wind 310, wet 7, runway 27, clear to land, traffic departs prior to your arrival.
Okay, runway 27 cleared to land. We'll look for departing traffic here. ZJet 318. Okay, first stage of flaps. Autopilot's off. I'm gonna bleed a little speed here. And landing gear's coming down. Okay. All right, we're gonna go all visual. Flight director's coming off. Next stage flaps. Flaps full.
United 6767, unfortunately no further ATCs available, switch to advisory, have a good night.
Have a good night, United 67.
Okay, landing gears down, 3 green, flaps full. Runway clearance has been given, runways in sight.
Papa, holding short runway 27 at Charlie.
November 4330 Sierra Papa, Lindbergh Tower, hello, hold short runway
Oh,
27.
we gotta wait for the
3 mile final.
APU.
Hold short number 27, 460 Sierra Papa.
APU start. Yaw damper off. A little bumpy here. Continue.
November 433 Sierra Papa, runway 27, line up and wait.
27 line up and wait, Sierra Papa.
10.
That landing was butter.
All right. She's shaking, baby. All right, so we came in, got her down, settled down, and yeah, we're gonna have to back taxi here.
That's Jet 318. Welcome to San Diego. Contact ground 123.9. We'll see you.
Okay, over to ground 23.9. Thanks a lot for your help for Jet 318.
No worries. And I got you, no thanks.
And San Diego, Lindbergh, Jet 318, clear runway 27 right on Bravo 8. It's looking to go to general aviation just off a hotel.
Roger, Jet 318, Lindbergh ground, right Bravo. Hold short, runway 27 at Charlie 3, or Delta.
All right, we're going left Bravo, and we'll be holding short runway 27 on Bravo 1 for Jet 318. All right. Welcome to San Diego. Let's see, what's the time? Hour and 16 minutes, so pretty much right on time. That was actually, believe it or not, my first time landing this aircraft with FS Realistic activated. So that was enjoyable. Yay. That APU bleed air on. I appreciate you, my G. This Citation Sovereign is a really good aircraft.
318, you can make a left there at Bravo 4, cross 27 at Bravo 4, taxi to parking via Charlie Hotel.
Okay, left Bravo 4, cross 27, Charlie Hotel to parking, Jet 318. Thanks a lot. All right, we were supposed to go all the way down, but he stopped us at the last minute, so we can go there. Unless that's what he did say and I didn't pay attention, but that's very possible. So we're going to cross right, Charlie 4. Okay. Okay, here's Charlie 4, Charlie. Just clear left. So where we're going to be taking off the Coast Guard area is right over here. There's where the Coast Guard birds are. Okay, hotel will be our next left. Right into here. Then we're just going to pull right up to signature here. Parking brake on. All right, you guys, we 100% made it. Man, that was dope. Excuse me, we're off the network. All right. Let's get into the replay, my G's. After, of course, I stop it. Boom. All right, replay is stopped. Okay, let's get all this information off here, guys, and get right into the replay, fam bammers. Appreciate y'all riding along, man. Now, for the replay, we're definitely gonna want to turn these back on because of the sky dolly. Boom, boom. I guess we'll get them all on. Get that up. Sky dolly likes to think. All right, let's get this replay done, fam bam Maruskis, and then we'll go from there, man. All right, so we're gonna do the replay here of our landing, and then we'll get ready to get into our chopper.
call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through.
All right, folks. Rock City's in the house, man. Big up, my G. We are going right into the Be Right Back screen with you guys so that we can get ready for the next flight. Thanks for riding along, y'all. All right, my G's. We're going to start it here. We are in San Diego. And again, we're going to just fly around here and showcase the bird. This is not for a whole full mission. I am going to do a dedicated stream for this. So let's get in here. We might do this and fly one other little 30-minute mission. But let's first of all see, make sure. Okay, we don't want it to be this late, so let's just back the time up, maybe to like 1 o'clock. All right, now we can get going. So this is Miltech Simulations MH60, and this is the Coast Guard version. As you guys know, I have been flying the, again, a version of this aircraft for several years, but obviously this is the more advanced version as far as the avionics are concerned and all that good stuff. So okay, so it looks like on this bird everything comes off when you hit one side. So this is it. So we'll do some stuff and then we'll come back, land, do a few things, do some replays, and then we out, my G's. Bottom line up front. And then we are going to be doing a separate stream on this. Okay, we're ready to get on board. So welcome aboard here. Let's see. All my different views should be set up and good to go. Okay, perfect. Look in the back. Here's what we got in the back here. We've got a person back here. So we're just doing a training mission today. Just flying, and then we'll do a couple little patterns. And like I said, may come back and land and do a recording of that, and then may get out to do a little 30-minute mission. So without further ado, welcome to Miltech Sims MH60. I know it's been out for a while, but your boy is behind the power curve. Getting it on. All right, let's go. Battery on. Battery's going to come on. We're going to start turning some lights on. Nav can go to normal, and the anti-collision can go to both. Now that we've got our battery on, we're going to go ahead and prime the APU. A few seconds. All right. Bring that up. We're going to bring the air source on the APU when it starts. And let's start the APU, and we can turn the generator on now so that when the APU is good, we'll get some APU power on there. Now that the APU is up and on, in order to help the aircraft along, we're also going to turn on a utility hydraulic pump. And let's turn our screens on now. We're going to turn them on today, obviously. All right. Along with that, we're going to turn our auto flight control systems, our Stabulator 1, Stabulator 2, and the trim. And we're also going to come down here to our Stabulator auto control to turn that on. Then we're going to turn our computer powers on, our EGI 1 and 2 for our navigation. And then we're going to turn our boost pumps on. Okay, see, you can see here we've got EG 1, 2, and fail, and now they've just aligned, and you can see the EG alignment process is all done. We're also going to change this to mode, and 29908 is the current altimeter, so let's hit Baro and use this multifunction scroll wheel. To go to 29908. Now we're done there, folks. Now normally if we were in a rush, like we had an emergency, we'd be going a lot faster than this. Okay, now that that's done, folks, we're going to come over here and we're going to turn our engine ignition on. We're going to place our fuel valves into the cross feed. And we'll start the left engine first. We're going to be monitoring this side, so it'll be a quick push of the button. Alright, that'll at least kind of give you guys some ideas of the controls here. And we can pretty much go ahead and start the right engine. You can see the right engine coming up. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically from this position, I'll lift off slightly and we'll pull backwards and we'll do a left pedal turn and we'll be coming out over the water. And we're going to wait for our NG on engine 2 stabilize as well. Alright, now essentially we're going to bring them all the way into the flight mode, and we're going to get our fuel bulbs to the direct. And then we're going to let the engines continue their startup process. Let's get generator 1 and 2 on. We can turn the engine air source or the air source to engine. Get that boost pump off. We can now turn the APU off and or generator and now get the APU itself off. Now the engines will both continue to come up as we get rid of that low RPM. Let's get the windshield heats on. Pitot heats on. And the aircraft, believe it or not, is still starting up, so there is at no point nothing to worry about. And then we'll get stable NG and we'll get rid of this low rotor RPM. We can go ahead and turn the boost pumps off. Now I'm looking, we may have an issue. I'm not quite sure. While the right engine's only performing at 52%, or if that's a gauge error. Let's get that hydraulic utility pump off. So I am monitoring this. Okay. Get our landing lights on. Alright. Let's see how we do for power here. She seems to be performing nicely. We did our left pedal turn out of there. She's got enough power, so I think it's a malfunctioning gauge. All right, folks. So far, engine performance and power look good, so I think it's just a matter of a faulty gauge there. All right. So let's come up the coast a little bit here. And then we'll come back in for a landing. And then we'll run a little mission. There's our landing point there. So we'll come up, come back down, and then make a left turn right there by those boats and park in there. All right, let's see what type of speed we can get in this thing. Let's check these engines out. This thing's moving. Okay, a little bit over here. And we're gonna do a slow stop here. It looks like we'll be losing altitude right away, but we won't. There we go. Nice little turn here. Alright, so we'll land, and the next one we'll start a recording and kind of see ourselves before we get into a mission. Alright, there's those boats. Remember, that's our target. Let's start making a little descent here. Start slowing ourselves down. Beautiful. Alright, here we go. Hard stop. Now this aircraft does have hover mode, basically where we can get it into a hover, which we'll do when we come over the land here, and I'll show you, but we're not doing hover mode just yet. But if we wanted to, we would observe that little figure in there, correct our slip. And that's almost how you get it to a hover right here. Then you could take the control right down there and do hover mode. Alright, let's land and then record ourselves so we can see actually what we look like. Alright, here we come. Nice smooth approach in. Landing lights are still on. I have to have the mechanics look at this engine gauge. Excuse me. And we'll make our approach nice and slow. It's a tight area in there. We're kind of at a little drift here. Slightly descending. Alright, let's come off to the little right, and then we'll do a little left pedal here, straighten ourselves out. There we go. And just as I said, we're pretty much gonna, I'll show you guys a little hover, which is basically this, manually. Okay, let's go ahead and land now. But I just wanted to show you guys how you can get it yourself, and then if you were to hit the crew hover button, then they'll hover the aircraft for you while you can do hoist operations and all that. Let's work our way in here. Drop a little bit of altitude here. Keeping in mind those fences. And we're a long helicopter, so we'll start our turn here. We're basically at the front of the helicopter with the helicopter's tail, if you will, hanging out to a certain degree. And normally you have like a crew chief on here that's also going to help you to align yourself. So we're also fighting wind and ground effects here. So we know at this point our tail is clear. And we'll kind of slide ourselves over. Line ourselves right up behind the other bird as we were before. And let's go ahead and set her down here.
That landing was butter.
Alright, so it's nice that this will even let you know. And look, those engine gauges, that's crazy. Alright, so we're going to just kind of look and observe the area again. We're pilots in training here, folks. You see how we're nice and lined up? Alright, so let's start the recording. And then we'll do a little route. We'll fly it over. We'll take off, actually. We'll go back to the left. We'll come back around the boats, fly up the coast, come back, and circle back in. And actually, we might not even run into the mission. That'll be enough. I'm almost at a 3-hour stream, so this will probably be good for me. So, let's get the recording started, mates. Alright. Booyah. Alright, we're in the recording mode now. Alright, let's make it happen, Captain. Alright. So same thing. We'll come up nice and smooth. And we're gonna come over the water. Okay, let's make our turn now. So we get a little altitude over these boats here. Pick up some speed, nice smooth turn. Alright, let's arrest some of that altitude. And of course, for planes, we're not going to do any damage there by impeding on the runway. Yeah, and just fly right over Lindbergh here. If anybody's ever been to this terminal here, you know this is the main road in, and then the parking is off to the right, especially with the cell phone lot and all that. So eventually I'm going to get more proficient. I tried to make a mission and load it up for you guys today, but when I loaded up it was at night and I was starting on the ship, so that wasn't
I got to get more practice, but we will do a dedicated stream. We're not going that fast right now. We're only doing about 70 knots or so. Just reduce a little bit of that altitude there. All right, right where the water ends, we'll just kind of follow the water around. Then eventually we'll get using this thing and get into some missions. Like I said, I just wanted to showcase it. That's why I say we're at piloted training. You can hear that rotor slap. Alright, this time we're going to come in a little hotter and faster as we are training. We want to be able to train to come in a little bit faster. That's why we're managing our altitude this far out this time. There we go. Alright, so right now we're traveling about 80 knots, 85, so let's go ahead and start pulling that power back, tilting that nose up. Because we are going to come in faster. Starting to line up for our approach here. About 100 feet off the water. Alright, let's see how fast we can come in here to make this landing. Remember, we went in slow last time, but this time we're going to do more of a what they would really do coming in ish. And I'm going to get as close as where we parked before, so when the replay starts, you might see the helicopter skip a little bit because I'm not parking exactly where we started off of to the millimeter. Alright, so we're still coming a little faster. There's our helicopter. Remember our protocols here for essentially missing this gate. Start getting our bearings here for our pedal turn. And remember, we'll be seeing all this on the replay. Okay, let's go ahead and start that turn. A lot of ground effects here. This is good right here.
That felt great on rollout.
Alright. So, we did that. Let's stop the recording and get this off. Boom. And let's get me off and let's figure out just exactly how we did.
Los dos son complicados o igual, pero los controles son un poco diferentes. Como vuela el helicóptero y todo eso, papá. Es un poco difícil de explicar, pero son iguales, pero son diferentes. All right. We'll come here. Okay, let's start the replay. So see, we parked pretty close. All right, so we're going to see how we did on that last circuit, y'all. All right, fam bammers, that is pretty much going to be a wrap for your boy today here on the channel, man. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I definitely enjoyed myself, and I hope to see you guys on the next one, my G. Stream's right at 3 hours and 4 minutes. God bless each and every one of you. I'm your boy Dre, and I am G-O-N-E, man. Thanks for riding along. Happy 4th of July to each and every one of you. Happy birthday, United States.